Hello and welcome to our Stebbington podcast, Guardians of the Gigabyte. I'm Steph.
And I'm Debs. And together, we are the nerds you need.
Helping businesses become more efficient by utilising systems and software and improving their processes.
And whilst that may sound a little bit boring, we also like to sprinkle in a lot of fun.
So relax,
Get yourself a cuppa.
and join us for half an hour of insight and amusement.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Guardians of the Gigabyte.
Yeah.
I am Debs.
I am Steph, and
together
together we are Stebbington Limited. Boom! Didn't even practice that.
I think we've done it enough times now. Although you may be noticing we actually have a guitar next to us today. Don't worry, we're not going to be singing.
Or maybe they wanted us to.
Maybe.
I mean, a lot of people
Let us
we
know
do.
in the comments.
We do car karaoke, actual karaoke, random singing in the street.
We do love singing.
We do. Oh, I love music. Doesn't it? It actually does raise your vibrations. Do you know that? If I'm a little bit grumpy and I need to, or if I'm, you know, when you're kind of like, you need to get on with something, and it's just like you're not quite there. There's a bit of a block there. Put on a bit of music.
So I was talking to someone the other day about music, and they were saying about they like to have something on in the background when they work from home. And then I was mentioning that you like to listen to that focus music, don't you? And I was like, my problem is that I do like to listen to music, but the problem I have is that it depends what it is. Because otherwise I end up having a concert. Like, if I listen to show tunes, then there's no work getting done. I'm just swinging around pretending I'm in a show. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with focus music is it's not there. It's just sounds, and it's just that
white noise.
Yeah, it kind of. I do like it sometimes if I'm more in a kind of like kind of mood. Then I'll have a bit more popular music. Or like this morning, it was all about Vivaldi. I was in the mood for that, so it depends.
Yeah,
but I do understand I know what you mean. Like when I was listening to Les Mis. That soundtrack, there was a couple there like Master of the House or the Inn. That's it. It's not even any of those words, is it? Isn't it Keeper of the Inn?
Yeah, it's both. You're quite right.
But that one, see, like that, I'm doing my little jig. So yeah,
I get too involved.
I think it depends what you're doing though as well, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, which is why like focus music has to be on for emails. Because if I have a music with words...
if you start singing, I start typing while I'm singing. So people just get like I don't know, like lots of random
start
words.
Singing, let it go, let it go. I mean, automation is working.
So we're here in March.
The
end of March.
I can't believe it's yeah. I know. I'm
Almost
sure we
over.
say this every year, especially as adults, but it is flying.
I want to know if people... like back 30 years ago said it as much as like we say it now, because I do tend to think, because like we do always say it, we're like, this year's gone way too quickly, the year's just speeding up so quickly, but I'd love to know if they always said that or if the world is speeding up.
Yeah, and isn't it just, it's our perceived time though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because a day for Robin, that's like a week.
Would you remember when you used to go in the car, like if we would go to Horsham and I'd be like, oh
Yes.
and I lived in Broadfield, so it's like 15-minute car journey, but it would feel like I'd been in there for like absolute hours. And now like it takes us like 35 minutes to come here and it just flies by.
Yeah, but then that's also us.
Yeah.
I reckon like we've been on 2-hour road trips and it's like, oh, we're here. Damn it.
We're here already.
But
so March, it was your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I am a year older and wiser and
Yeah.
more grey. Lovely.
Did you have a good time?
You know I did.
I
hung out with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what? It was actually the perfect birthday. It really was, because it got everything I wanted. I got the socks, got a new earring, got to have a day of nothing. And then, we went and had for lunch and we laughed a lot as expected.
Although, like next time, I'm not going to book that place again, like for us two, because we had to sit outside in the end because it just felt like we were being too like loud. Everyone was silent, weren't they? There was loads of people there, but no one was talking. And it's like this oldie worldy kind of pub, so obviously the sound really travels. So we
It was like we were the entertainment.
I don't think we were entertaining. I think we were annoying. So we were like,
in my head, it's always entertaining.
we're going to sit outside in the cold so we can carry on our conversation. Why was it so quiet in there, though?
Because it's an old man's pub, maybe?
There was families in there.
Oh.
Do you remember? At one point we were having a conversation and one of us stopped talking and like no one
Yeah,
else.
then there was, because I remember there was those 3 people over there and they just weren't talking.
No.
Yeah, no, but this goes on to that whole, you know, when you go out for food, like, and I know we don't, but when people sit on their phones, I feel like that. And I feel like there's some people out there, and I'm not judging, But I feel like that's where the conversation goes. Like when, you know, my rules in the house, no phones at the table and we talk. And I think that's where that comes in sometimes, where you see people like, oh, your kid's in there, give them a tablet.
Yeah.
And then you've got people go, oh, well, I'm just checking this. And then you end up, oh, I'm just going to text. And then you know what it's like. Once you pick your phone up, you're like, oh, well, I'll just have a check on this.
Yeah,
and
I think that's always the thing, isn't it? Because another thing, going back to when we were little, is that obviously didn't have stuff like that. So you would just be bored at a restaurant. That was just part of life.
Yeah,
You're going out for dinner, you're going to be bored. Deal with it. Just be quiet.
Do you remember? That's when me and Harriet, one of my sister, for everyone listening, we used to plan our toilet breaks because we used to know, like, if we're going out for dinner, look, it's going to be dull. The adults are going to be talking. We're like, right, how many people are there? Depending how many toilet breaks you get away with. So if it was just with nanograms, then okay, 2. You could get one near the start and near the end, and you didn't need to. It was just
something
to
do
do something. Yeah. But then like with Rob's, she doesn't get a tablet at the dinner table, and when we go out, we just give us some crayons.
Yeah,
I mean,
Josh never used to. I mean, he's a bit older.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not now. No, but
At 18, here you go, Josh. Have your crayons.
You can watch the Peppa Pig, Joshua.
Did you know McDonald's, they even have the crayons, though?
Yeah, but they also have tablets.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah,
The one near
they
the
do.
cinema. Yeah.
It's mad, though. I just think it's crazy. I just remember being bored when I was younger, and I was
Just your whole childhood.
most of being a child when you were younger was being bored. It was like you had to just sit down and, or the other one was me and my brother would get the manic giggles because we were bored, and then that was it. And then we'd be in trouble. We'd be like, stop laughing, and then that would make you laugh more. And then you have to go home and you'd be in big trouble.
It's like when you're old, you don't say anything, be quiet. I suddenly have everything to say. It's like, I need to say these things now. I feel like it's like that.
All those first ones when you think don't laugh. Like, I don't know.
Like at funerals.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but I can't help it. There's a dead person.
There's one memory I've got of Josh falling over, and whenever I think I'm not allowed to laugh about it, then I start thinking about it, and it overtakes me. And if I think about it too much, it will literally make me laugh. Like I can't. I don't know, mate.
We have really digressed.
Yes, we have.
So anyway,
So
I had a wonderful birthday, thank you. And then, as you know, your little goddaughter, she had her birthday. That was the main event of March.
Of every March for the rest of your life.
I know. Thank God I had 30 years before her of birthdays.
You're 29 years and 363 days.
Well done, you. That is some good math steps. Did you do that on the way down?
No.
Is that what you were doing when you were doing little calculations?
That was off the cuff. I'm basically a calculator now.
Basically.
But yeah.
And then we had International Women's Day.
We did.
Oh, now.
Which is a weird one, isn't it? Because I quite like it. I love International Wizards Day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I love that one. And I also love International Women's Day just because it's a day to celebrate women. However, it's quite a 50-50 thing. There's quite a lot of people and women that will be like, I don't get what the point.
You know, there is
is
an International Man's Day.
When is that?
November.
Is it?
Yeah. And that's, do you know why they give out? I'm like, well, you have a day too. It's just none of you do anything about it.
Yeah, but I think it's the whole, I think because people jump on the bandwagon. There's a lot of companies that, like, you know, big corporations that are like, oh, we're celebrating International Women's Day. And so it's a tricky one, isn't it? I like it because we're female founders of a business. And not only that, female founders of a tech business, which isn't that usual in this kind of space.
No.
Obviously, we're not the only ones, but it's not as...
We're the minority in the
absolutely.
industry. I love it as well. I think it's important when you think about how many women have been forgotten from history that did have a massive impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like weren't windscreen wipers invented by women? Shopping bags invented by women. I know these are only little things, but they were really important. Pretty sure helmets.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot more bigger things.
Oh, human. You know. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Marika. Oh, yeah. Then there's the women who did the first programming. So there wouldn't actually be. So we say, okay, we're the minority in this industry. It was actually because of a woman that programming and the internet even exist. Those foundations were laid down by a woman. Can I remember her name? No. Why? Because we weren't taught it in school.
Yeah, but to be fair, I can't remember the name of most people. Like, I barely remember the name of my son. So.
That's another subject. But yeah, and I think it's important though. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we celebrate women?
We celebrate, everyone, and I love all those international days of different things. I always find it fascinating because I'm like, just be happy, celebrate everything.
Yeah,
everything.
We do celebrate a lot, to be fair. Yay, it's a Monday! Celebrate!
So with that...
No, I do. I love International Women's Day.
So it's obviously spring. Spring is almost springing. You may have noticed that I'm in a polo shirt, Steph's in a jumper. Steph is the clever one on this because it's freezing.
I thought we were going to talk about the fact that I'm always cold.
Well, no, even I'm feeling the chilliness of it.
Do you want to put a jacket on?
No.
Do you want to share my hoodie?
No. Oh, that would be cool.
We can have one arm. We can both have a warm arm.
So
Spring is
spring cleaning. There's a tenuous link coming.
Oh,
spring cleaning, housekeeping, computer housekeeping, and that is the theme of today. We're going to talk about spring cleaning all your systems or data maintenance and what is important and what you need to be looking out for.
And why should you be even doing it?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that actually should probably answer itself. Same reason. Why do you clean your house?
But why do you clean
your house?
Your systems.
I feel like this is going to tell a lot about Debbie.
We speak to a lot of clients who, or potential clients before they work with us, and they usually have spreadsheets of data. We had one client who had spreadsheets of data, but all the data was formatted differently. You had first names in last names columns. You had salutations in first names columns because of where everything was coming from. So massive part of that job was to tidy up the data.
We needed a lot of songs for that.
Yeah.
But that is it. But even once you've implemented your database, you need to still keep it clean. Mm-hmm. There is going to be some data over time that it's not relevant. You just need a little spruce. You maybe need to get rid of some old contacts that just, or spam, or just things that kind of, I don't know, open opportunities that are long gone but no one's actually closed. Little things, and they seem like little things, but it's nice when you've got a nice, clean, relevant CRM. That's what makes it work.
Absolutely. And something that was really important to mention is things like naming conventions. So, you might have lots of files in your Google Drive or on your computer, and, each job might have its own folder and all of that kind of stuff. But keeping, housekeeping your names of files is really, really important as well. If you've got the same kind of convention, it's like client dash job number dash something, and everything's the same. It makes things so much easier if you need to search for things, because with all the best will in the world, sometimes you need to search for items. So, really looking at what you have written down in your business for your files, file conventions or names, anything like that.
And tags as well. Bringing back to the database sites, because we had one recently with one of our clients. They'd run out of tags because the way they were using them, they weren't optimizing them, and they only had so many on that subscription. And to be honest, they didn't want to double the amount they were paying every month just to be able to have an extra few tags. So we're like, well, let's actually have a look at that. What tags are relevant? And there was loads that weren't. Or
in my experience, people overdo tags, like 100%, because I think they think, it's, and the tags are an iffy one as well in systems sometimes, because they do act a lot different depending on what system you're using. Yeah. So a tag in one system may work for you, but it might mean something completely different in another system.
Sometimes you need a custom field more than a tag. So like if it was a regional thing, I wouldn't necessarily put that all into tags. I would use, but again, depending on the system you use, because some you can't filter by custom fields. Yeah. Whereas some you can. So it is, but it's something
but
like,
if you're keeping on top of that.
That's the point.
That's the point, what you need to be.
And making sure you've got the most up-to-date contact information. So if you've got clients and maybe they've changed their emails and you know this, but you haven't actually updated it in the main contact within the CRM. Again, it's little things like that, but it's just looking at it all, making sure your automation. Is that all still working? Are those integrations still live? Because sometimes we had one recently, they weren't working. They said, can you have a look at it? Had a look and said, because it's been disconnected. So they probably would have got an email, but they've emails sometimes go missing.
Email shmemail.
Everyone. But it's something to look at. Oh, and also sometimes those integrations have updated. So you might not, you might have only been able to bring, for example, again, custom fields. You might have only been able to bring out certain contact information across from one system to another, but the integration's been updated. So now you can also copy across custom field information or additional fields. So it's just worth, while you're having it, it's kind of like one of those proper spring cleaning of your house, isn't it? When you go from room to room, you're not just going to do the cleaning on top. You need to actually go into that drawer. What's in that drawer? Do I need to clean and organise that drawer? Yeah. Debbie loves cleaning a drawer.
No, I don't.
No, but every
My
time
partner
Steve
does. Yeah. He'll go in, he'll just wander off to do some tidying up, and it turns out all my drawers are really clean, which is lovely. But I
love
don't
it.
care about the drawers. The drawers. It's a good point, though.
Whereas when I go out to your place and then I'm like, oh, Steve's been busy. I love that.
I love this drawer.
I wish I would do that to my drawers.
I'm sure we would.
But yeah, it's the same, I think, on systems.
So what's a good way to do it? So I know that what we tend to do is have a sheet where all of our, say for automations, we'd have all of our automations written out.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like reevaluate that every kind of few months. Because I mean, I know we're saying spring, but like this is an activity you should be doing every sort of 6 months.
6 months to a year, I think, depending on the size of your business.
Yeah.
And also like how many, because I know like, for example, Go High Level, you can have connections with, say, Instagram and Facebook, but it means you get a lot of spam coming in as well. So like that, you'd probably want to do that every 3 months just to keep on top. But okay, where would I start? Well, I would have a process map. When looking at the automations, because that would be where you can make sure. But really, I think first thing, it depends on your system. Exporting the contacts and doing it in a spreadsheet and then re-importing them is normally the quickest way. Most efficient way, without cutting corners, because you want to see all the data laid out, and it's sometimes just easier to kind of, Excel with all the macros.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the magic thing. If you do it into something like a spreadsheet, then you're able to use formulas. And if you're not sure how to use formulas, guys, use something like ChatGPT. Just put it in there. I have this column with this name. I have this row with this name. I need to do X, Y, Z, and ask ChatGPT, and it will sort it out for you if you give them the right information. So if you're thinking, oh no, I can't do that, but honestly, this is where spreadsheets really shine. And then because formulas, macros, everything like that, ChatGPT will work it out.
And then you can import it back in, and most systems would then update those contacts to be more, because it's things like if someone's put in a contact's been created and it's got the first and last name in just one box, then again, just separating that instead of going into every record. So that's always my first thing. Is spreadsheets. Then I'd say go through the process map, because then you have somewhere else to start. So like the next step might be a template email. Okay, so then let's go through the email templates. Let's go through them all. Are they still relevant? Do we need to tweak, update? Are the links still working? That's the next thing. And then, okay, what's the first integration? So then I'm going to go through all the integration. Yeah. It sounds big, but like cleaning your house, it is. It's a bit of a thing, but once you get into it, and as long as you know, because again, the system's only as good as the information in it. Yeah. So if you can't trust the information in your CRM or any database, then how do you know which data to trust and which data to not trust? Yeah. So I would say just clean it.
So that's our big takeaway for spring. And also once you've done it once, the first time, probably if you've been going a long time and you have a lot of data, it's going to be boring and it's going to be, but if you keep on top of it.
Which again goes to how the frequency of doing this. We say spring cleaning. In 6 months, we'll be talking about autumn cleaning. Getting ready for winter.
Hibernating with Stevington.
I feel like the world has been hibernating for the last few months.
It's like nature. That, just before spring. So I love autumn.
Yes.
Because I love it. Like when you're going for a walk and it's still sunny and it's like all crisp and lovely. And then you have winter. But then I like spring when it starts to get to the sunny bit. And at the moment, I feel like we had 2 days of that and the rest of it's been, it's just been so cold.
It has. Like this morning, I thought it was spring. So, because first day of spring was on Thursday.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was the first day. This is the usefulness of having an 8-year-old. I would never have known that, but she is on that calendar all the time. I'm with you though. I do. I love spring. I love seeing the colours, and then obviously summer's my favourite. But then autumn's so pretty. Yeah. It's just winter. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not always a fan of summer though.
Oh, I love summer.
Sometimes it gets too hot.
No.
So.
And on that note, it's too cold in the spring and too hot in the summer.
On that, what has been your favourite piece of software that you've used in March? It can be favourite piece of software, favourite bit of automation you might have done, anything Stevington-wise.
I think I'm going to say Monday.com with a dash of Zapier.
Ooh, sounds like a cocktail.
Because, it's a cocktail of magic.
Is it?
Yeah.
What have you done with it? What have you made
Monday.com is great. Right, we love Monday.com, but there are certain limitations. So, for example, if you need something to be triggered after so many hours. It doesn't have that. If you're trying to move things across from one board to another and you need to keep them connected, it does have some of those, but they're limited, whereas Zapier just really powers it up. And the thing I've been enjoying with Monday is just how much easier it makes people's lives, you know?
I've had some really good feedback about Monday, like when I've been speaking to people, is that it just looks nice. I think it looks friendly.
It looks friendly and it's easy to manage. It's really intuitive. It's just like, click on that. You've got lots of nice colour. People enjoy that. It is great for the collaboration. They've now got sequences, so they can automatically send out emails. So we're not doing that for this client. It's not so much for marketing, but more for following up. So if they've tried to contact them, they can't, then it can go into an automation and automatically follow up. But then it comes out when someone replies. So, you know, people don't respond to an email and then still get the next follow up. So that's really nice. And now, because of the AI capabilities, I'm enjoying that within Monday. They have those, again, it's not quite 100%, but it really, I think for a lot of the way a lot of people would use AI within that, it's useful so that you can do some ratings, or you can take the tone out of an email and they can then sort it based on that. You know how AI works. So yeah.
I'm familiar with it.
Monday.com with a splash of Zapier. What about you, my friend?
Well, I've been working highly on Zoho Creator, which is an app within Zoho One where you can build your own app, which has been a labour of love, but it's been really, really fun. There's a lot you can do with it. And also with the whole, I know I've mentioned Zoho before, but working within the Creator app's been actually a bit of mind-opening. Mind-opening? Is that the right saying? Eye-opening. Eye-opening, not mind-opening. but by using Creator and collecting them all together, it's been really good. And, you know, you can create a form and then you can assign it to do things based on what people have put in the form. And it's just a bit more in-depth. So I've really enjoyed that.
Good.
That's been my...
It's pretty, and it's quite a nice bow to add to your string. Or
string to my bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way around.
Yeah. We are getting all these sayings bang on today. No, but it is because now you can create apps. So you heard that here first, guys.
Yeah. You want an app? Come to me.
Debbie, though, not me.
It's been really fun, though. The thing I've enjoyed about it personally has been the it's like the personal development of it all, and the if you dream it, you can do it thing. Where I'm like, someone says, well, I need this to do this, and I'm like, oh no. And then you have to kind of really drill down and think, well, if I do that, it's based on this and based on that. And so it's like being a Detective Debs coming to the rescue with my app. And I really enjoyed it. So and Zoho One obviously gives you that ability to do that. And they do have good support chat on Creator as well. So you don't always get an answer necessarily that's right, but
I was gonna say,
you do. It's nice to know when you click the support chat, there's somebody there. Yeah. And I think that makes it, sometimes you have business software that you click help and it's an AI bot. And it just says someone will get back to you, and that really, really grinds my gears. So I'm like, what's the point of that even being there in the first place? Like, just send an email.
Yeah, see, I understand the chat box for when it's like a sales inquiry if you're new to the site, or for some of the basic stuff. But it's generally if you're using the system and you need help, it's like
and it's usually quite a unique problem because you're creating something from scratch. So I really like that about Zoho. I think that's good. So that's a tick for Zoho Creator. And the peeps, Zoho Creator, who I'm basically best friends with now. So hi, could you help with this? And they are really helpful.
Yeah, Zoho on the whole are helpful, I find. Like when you're creating, if you're using Zoho One and you're starting to look at the flows and you want custom functions, they do have a nice help way to do it. But I find sometimes people can only get to one point. Yeah. And I know that Zoho,
you do have to fight them a little bit. There's a little bit of fighting, but you know.
It is fun, but they support. They're there.
They're really
think that's
supportive.
the thing. There's real people at the end.
Not
100%. Just an AI bot that goes, oh no, we can't help with that. Or,
definitely.
So that's spring.
Yes, that's March. Yeah, that's March roundup. Obviously, we did a talk.
Oh yeah, did a talk, and we did a whole mentoring day.
We did, which was really fun.
That was.
I really enjoy talking.
And we got to use Monday and Zoho.
Yeah, we did. Don't remember that. That was really enjoyable. We love doing the public speaking. It's really fun to kind of connect with lots of different people.
Yeah, and meet mayors.
When we met the Mayor of Eastbourne.
That was like
So that was
amazing woman.
That was cool. Steph curtsied because she wasn't sure what to do.
I panicked. Debbie wasn't by my side. That is a fact.
Yeah.
But it was, I think, I really enjoyed the speaking and meeting all those businesses. And then, the mentoring to be able to actually drill down with specific help businesses people. And just kind of go, right, how can we actually help you? What does it look like for you? Because obviously when you're speaking, you're kind of, you have to do it generally. So you kind of, everyone can kind of relate a little bit. Whereas for that day was just, And we got a nice lunch.
Yeah.
Always a bonus.
And I think that's the key as well when you system implementation. System implementation in your business is personal to you, and really it depends what you need. So, like Steph said, you can have a general conversation, but that mentoring is really important. And that's why when you're picking a system and that, you really need to make it personal. And that is how we can help you. So if you have any questions or need any help with picking the right system, implementing the right system, or integrating it, then you know where we are, and all of our information is in the description below.
Yeah, and as always, we're not, again, I know we've said it a lot, but we are system agnostic. So despite us saying we love Monday and Zoho this month, we are very fickle. Next month, it will be a whole new system. No, on a serious note,
it will be.
It's the fact that just because we don't talk about that system as much doesn't mean we haven't used it or got experience, and doesn't mean we can't help you.
Cool. Well, thank you. And that's the end of March's Guardians of the Gigabyte.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and we'll see you next month.